No Caitlin Clark, no problem. The Indiana Fever just absolutely destroyed the Las Vegas Aces, and man, oh man, do we have a whole lot to get into. In a game where A'ja Wilson put up nearly 30 points, the Indiana Fever won by nearly 30 points.
So lads, the Kelsey Mitchell situation is just getting worse right now, and it's something that is getting completely out of hand. Completely out of hand.
Didn't even play. Kelsey Mitchell in this game was absolutely exceptional and spectacular. She had 25 points, and it wasn't a game where she was just chucking up a bunch of shots, but when she got looked, she made her shot. And Aaliyah Boston was also exceptional in this game. She had 20 points and 7 rebounds.
It's not Kelsey Mitchell. And I genuinely understand the way people are like, oh, if this happened with Caitlin Clark, anyone involved with Caitlin Clark, like, I'm pretty sure Jada Jimfy.
Did the referees just hand A'ja Wilson and the Las Vegas Aces a win? Caitlin Clark's furious reaction says it all as she witnesses biased officiating from the sidelines. From questionable jump ball calls to a major free throw disparity, was this game rigged against the Indiana Fever? You won't believe how the Fever fought back against all odds. Stay tuned for the full story. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. Why was Caitlin Clark visibly frustrated, almost shaking her head in disbelief at what she was watching? The moment came in the third quarter, a crucial stretch where the Las Vegas Aces surged on a 14-2 run. It wasn't just the scoreboard that had people fired up. It was a controversial jump ball call that baffled both fans and players. Aaliyah Boston had gone for a strong move in the post when A'ja Wilson collided with her. Instead of a foul, which looked obvious on replays, the officials signaled for a jump ball. You could see the confusion on the players' faces.
Nearly 70% from the field, and she was making all her shots around the rim. Caitlin Clark obviously wasn't able to feed her in this game, but she was able to get her own, which was big time. And Natasha Howard has continued her good play for the Indiana Fever. She had a lot of buckets around the rim. Her touches
Laughed at somebody, at Caitlin Clark's boyfriend's brother, basically calling saying Angel Reese sucks at basketball, and then they were trying to call Jada Jimfy. They were calling Jada Jimfy slurs. Like, it's a crazy hypocrisy.
She did a good job of containing Alyssa Smith in this game. She had another great one. And the unsung hero of this game was definitely Aari McDonald. She had 8.7 rebounds and 7 assists in this game. And her just pushing the pace, running the offense, getting everybody involved was so big for this Fever team. Without Caitlin Clark.
But let's not do the same thing back. Let's make sure we're not blaming Kelsey Mitchell here. Because at the end of the day, It's ridiculous when people blame Caitlin Clark for...
And the crowd wasn't having it either. Was this just a bad call, or was something bigger going on here? That wasn't the only instance where the whistles seemed to lean in one direction. The most glaring example came shortly after. A'ja Wilson went up for a contested shot, and the slight contact was called a foul immediately, sending her to the free throw line. Moments later, Aaliyah Boston again appeared to be hacked underneath, but this time the refs swallowed their whistles. For the Fever's bench, this inconsistency was impossible to ignore. Coach Stephanie White erupted, pacing along the sidelines, arms raised, clearly demanding some sort of explanation. But the calls kept coming, and most of them seemed to favor the Aces. When you look at the numbers, it's hard not to notice the disparity. The Aces had 17 free throw attempts compared to just 12 for the Fever. While that might not sound dramatic, it's well above the league's average margin for star teams like Vegas. Over a game, those extra chances change everything, and some fans argue it reflects something deeper in the officiating structure. The Fever weren't just playing the Aces, it felt like they were battling the officiating too, and the frustration wasn't limited to the sidelines. Watching it all unfold, Caitlin Clark's face said it all. Sitting out for this game, her reaction was visceral, shaking her head, hands clasping over her hair.
Out a player to look for everybody. Aari McDonald comes in and she immediately fills that hole. She was able to push the pace, run fast, and make the right passes. Obviously, it's not going to be the same as when Caitlin Clark is out there, but Aari McDonald does the job exceptionally well.
The actions of people like in her general circle, not even directly in her circle, people around her. Like Caitlin Clark's boyfriend, or her brother, the amount of stuff he got basically called the devil for calling referees bad.
Indiana Fever team. And because the Indiana Fever were able to get so many stops in this game, they were able to push the pace in transition. And what do I always say? When the Indiana Fever push the pace in transition, good things happen. And when the Indiana Fever do get out in transition,
he got, like, they hurled slurs at him for saying referees are bad. And they hurled slurs at Caitlin because her brother said refs are bad. Like, it's crazy, but let's not sink to their level. Kelsey Mitchell did nothing wrong. But this situation is really, really weird.
From the sidelines, she could tell something was off, but the Fever weren't giving up just yet. How do you respond when the calls don't go your way and the pressure feels insurmountable? The Indiana Fever showed everyone just how. Instead of unraveling under the bizarre officiating, they kept their cool and turned their frustrations into fuel, saving their best for the final quarter. Down by 8 with time ticking away, Kelsey Mitchell stepped in as the leader her team desperately needed. 9 points in the fourth alone, including a clutch three-pointer with less than 2 minutes left, sent a jolt of energy through the team. Imagine the pressure. Every shot mattered. Every possession carried the weight of the game. But Mitchell stood tall, knocking down those baskets with absolute precision. And this wasn't just Kelsey's show. Natasha Howard had been grinding all game, putting together an impressive double-double with hustle plays that gave the Fever the boost they needed when things got tense. At one point in the fourth, she got matched up against Aja Wilson on a crucial rebound. While Wilson had the position, Howard powered through, ripped the ball away, and drew a foul. It wasn't just about the stat sheet. It was about moments like that where her sheer will kept Indiana's chances alive. Plays like these made the difference when the game felt like it could slip away. Then there's Sophie Cunningham. Even without Caitlin Clark on the floor, the Fever's depth came into full focus with her contributions. In July, she'd been shooting an unreal 58.1% from beyond the arc, and that confidence was evident here. Whenever the defense collapsed,
or you see them setting the off-ball screens, you don't see a stagnant offense, you actually see movement. And when the Indiana Fever do move, good things happen. And speaking of good things happen, I don't know if you guys can tell, but I actually have it on my shirt today, which leads me to the sponsor of today's video.
People are making the argument of, oh, the family are seeing all the fans talk about Kelsey Mitchell and they're just defending their relative. And I'm like, not really.
That is why you want her on the Indiana Fever, and that's why I'm so excited for her to play with Caitlin Clark, because you guys have to understand, Harry McDonald knows how to pass the basketball. We've been complaining about the way the Indiana Fever coaching staff has had Caitlin Clark playing off ball, but when you add someone like Harry McDonald...
Not really. The fans are saying that the Fever are nothing without Kelsey, which fair enough, like, or the family are saying that. And they're coming out basically calling Caitlin Clark a role player.
Sophie found the gaps and drained timely threes that kept the Aces from pulling too far ahead. Her presence stretched the floor, opening up opportunities for Mitchell and others to work inside. With 7 seconds left, Ari McDonald made sure the comeback was complete. Her deep three sealed the game, silencing anyone doubting the Fever's resilience. The Aces, once in total command, were forced into tough, desperate shots down the stretch. This wasn't just a win, it was a statement. The Fever turned bad calls into an even bigger reason to fight, showing they're capable of far more than just competing. This game wasn't just about bad calls or missed opportunities, it was about the Indiana Fever proving they're built for something greater. Despite facing questionable officiating that could have easily derailed their focus, the team showed poise, grit, and a hunger that can't be taught. Their victory against the league's top team wasn't just about winning, it hinted at a culture shift. With stars like Caitlin Clark waiting to rejoin this evolving roster, the future looks bright. So now's the time to follow the Fever's journey. Could this win be the moment we trace back as the spark for their 2025 title run?